Welcome back. All right, so 3 games today in the NHL, and since there was a separation between them, I'm not going to try to get them on the usual board I do for recaps, so here we are. Starting things off, we're going to talk about the New York Rangers at home against the Montreal Canadiens. This was the day that, while most of the teams had the day off, scorers had the day off too, apparently. So, and by which I also mean that the goaltending was pretty solid today. So, it's Montembeault versus Shesterkin in this one, early press by the Rangers. Caulfield's denied on a fast break. We get the Igor chance, which came up a lot during this one. Rangers press at 4 minutes. The shots are 5-3 in their favor, 6 minutes into the game. Dodonov can't bury one in close as the Habs press. Both goalies are sharp. Lecision was robbed. Slavkovsky's denied on a 2-on-1. A really wide open game at this point. The Habs press with 9 minutes left. Caulfield has a shot that deflects out. Dodonov is robbed in close. More pressure. So Evgeny Dodonov all around it today. Doc has a net feed that's cleared. The Rangers get a power play. That's killed off. 1 shot allowed. 43 seconds left. The Habs get a power play. Drouin breaks up a shorthanded 2-on-1. So after the first period, it is scoreless. Second period, strong shorthanded play by Miller. Second penalty kill in a row that he's been able to do this. Keandre Miller, really strong game for him today. There's a shorthanded chance for VC that helps finish off the kill. Montreal managed 0 shots during that power play. Hedl fires one wide on a rush. Jack-Eye has a shot that's held. There's some pushing after that, which is standard with Jack-Eye on the ice. Habs get a power play. A shorthanded 2-on-1 takes place. Trouba's denied. And then Doc scores on the power play from Dvorak and Caulfield at 4:54. He wires that one on a rush. It's not your standard power play goal, but you'll take it if you're Montreal. Habs nearly add another. The Rangers press with 8 minutes left, but they can't get to the net. The Habs, honestly, as a team, were playing really well today. They seem to be coming out of this terrible stretch they were going through. There's a post for Panarin, then the Habs rush the other way. Harris has a shot that's held as the Habs are pressuring again. The Rangers get a power play. It's killed off. Pretty solid penalty kill. There were 3 shots during that power play. There's a press by the Rangers that draws another. But during the delayed penalty, the Rangers score. So it's not technically a power play goal, though, at 6-on-5. Panarin from Hedl and Miller at 16:03. Then, and you could tell, too, the Habs were out of gas on that one because you still had guys on the ice who'd been killing off the previous power play. So the Rangers had some momentum. They're seeking the lead in the final minute. Drouin's denied. We get more chance for Igor. So we go to the third period with the score tied at 1. Dodonov has a wraparound that was blocked out. Armia's denied. Really strong start for the Habs in that period. Barron then had a chance that's saved as the Habs press. Hitting is ramping up at this point of the game as well for both teams. Schneider has a first chance that's saved, and his next opportunity was blocked out. So good play by Schneider there. Panarin has a rush chance that's defended by Harris. Caulfield fires one high on a 2-on-1. Teams are exchanging rushes, very wide open, and then Caulfield gets one on a turnover from Suzuki and Armia at 8:56, and then the Habs press for another. This point, Slavkovsky not on the bench. He did not return. We'll see what's going on with him. Of course, Evans not in the game after what happened to him in the last one last night. Miller breaks up a Suzuki fast break. Yelonen's denied in close. Panarin has a rush chance. That's tipped wide. Panarin's denied from the slot. Caulfield was denied right after that. Goalie gets pulled with 1:55 left. The Rangers call a timeout with 49 seconds left. They are unable to generate the tying goal. Montreal goes into New York and beats the Rangers 2-1. They go to 18-23-3 with the win for the Rangers. They're 24-13-7 with the loss. The shots in this one, 14-10 Rangers in the first, 12 apiece in the second, 13-9 Rangers in the third. Final shots, 39-31 for the Rangers. Power plays, Montreal 1 for 2, the Rangers 0 for 2. The hits, 24-14 for the Rangers. Montembeault saves 38 out of 39. He was fantastic. So was Shesterkin, 29 saves on 31 shots. So that's something with being the Vezina-level goaltender. You will see that the goaltender on the other side of the ice wants to elevate his game, show up the Vezina winner. So I think Montembeault did that today. All right, next up. Vancouver in against Carolina. Now, there were rumors that maybe this would be the last game for Boudreau. I haven't heard anything yet. I don't think you can fire a coach after a win. I mean, you can. Technically, you can, but I just don't. I don't see much of a point. Anyway, I mean, it's 43 games in. They're 4 games below 500. The odds of making the playoffs are extremely slim. I don't see the point. So in this one, it's Delia versus Kochetkov. And again, I think Colin Delia has proven he can play in the National Hockey League. So it's Martinook has a tip that saved. Jarvis with a net feed. That's picked off. Svechnikov fires one high on a rush. And then Carolina opens the score. It's Stastny on the second shot on net from Svechnikov and DeHaan at 2:25. Canucks didn't have a shot yet. It was a wide open, easy goal for Stastny. It does not bode well for the Canucks when that takes place. OEL then has a shot that's saved. It's the first shot for the Canucks at around the 4.5-minute mark. Canucks press, brief, kept to the outside. Not much going on there. Pettersson has a net drive that's defended. Halfway through the period, the shots are merely 2-2. Kuzmenko has a shot deflect wide on a 3-on-2. The Canucks press with 7.5 minutes left. The Canes were stuck on 2 shots. Back-to-back icings by the Canucks. Nason then has a shot that deflects wide. Canes press, that draws him a power play. The Canucks penalty kill on this road trip coming into today's game, 5 for 11. That's less than 50%, so that's not great. So Natchez fires one high as the power play ends, so became 6 for 12. Not too shabby. That's 50%. 50% of the time it works every time. Studnicka has a shot that's held in the final minute, and then Martinook. Martinook scores from Slavin at 19:26. The Canucks were trying to clear it. They failed. Slavin gets the puck, and so it's 2-0 after the first period, and it's only 6 shots that they allowed, and 2 of them go in the net. So 2-0 Carolina. Second period, early press by the Canes. 3-0 are the shots, a minute and a half in. So again, this feels very similar to the rest of the road trip to this point. Canucks icing on missed passes. Problem. Those stretch passes are trying to get, and they miss them, and so it turns into icing. Burns has a shot that's held. Bear had a rush chance that was saved. It was the first shot for the Canucks. Carolina had 8 to this point in the period. Canucks draw a power play. Miller has a shot that's saved. The Canes clear it out. That's killed off. The Canucks press after it ends, but they're kept to the outside again. Then Kuzmenko's denied on a net drive. The shots are 8-4 for Carolina with 9.5 minutes left, meaning now Carolina's not hitting the net. Lockwood beats out an icing, but Lazar takes a penalty on the play, so it doesn't matter. That power play, those killed off, no shots. So the Canucks penalty kill today was 2 for 2. So, I mean, it's a small bar. It's a low bar, but they cleared that today. So Besser has a rush chance that's kicked aside. Svechnikov has a shot that's saved as the Canes press. Canucks are kind of pinned down, but at 17:52, Ethan Bear gets him on the board. He scores from Kuzmenko at Studnicka. The Canes then press in the final minute, trying to get that 2-goal lead back. But we're going to the third with the score 2-1 in favor of Carolina. The early jump in the third goes to Carolina yet again. Near miss for OEL. The Canes clear it out. Burrows then has a shot blocked as the Canucks would press, but in terms of shots on net, the shots are 2-0 for Carolina 4 minutes in. Studnicka to Dries, that was blocked. Near miss for Martinook as the Canes press. Lazar gets shaken up on the play. Miller would score on a rush. He buries his own rebound. Hughes with the assist at 7:35. Suddenly it's a tie game. Surprised me. Gonna be honest, it surprised me. So the Canucks then look for the lead. Besser at a rush chance that save. The Canes get zone time, but they're not getting shots. Aho would score to get the lead back, though, for Carolina at 17:08 from Teravainen and Slavin. In all alone, and he buries it. And again, for Canuck fans everywhere, you just throw your hands in the air and go, it's this road trip, this is what it's been. Every game's close. They're just not quite good enough. Yada, yada, yada. So they pulled the goaltender with 2 minutes left. Icing by the Canucks with 1:10 left, so they have to put the goalie back in. Delia comes out again after they win the faceoff. 52.1 seconds left. The Canucks call a timeout. Whatever they discussed worked. Besser actually puts one around Kochetkov. It was a nice goal. So pretty solid right there. That's his 9th of the year. Horvat and Kuzmenko with the assists at 19:43. We're going overtime. Canucks controlled early. Pesce has a shot that deflects out. Svechnikov had one that was tipped wide. The Canucks take over. Canes get it back. They set up. Besser's denied on a net drive. Tried a very similar version of what he did late in the third to get the game tied. So he tried to do that again. Miller's then denied on a fast break. Shea fires one wide on a rush. We're going to a shootout. In the shootout, again, it's the only one was on, so I document what happened in the shootout. Kuzmenko scores first. Then Svechnikov answers. He scores. Miller has one that's saved, and then Teravainen hits the crossbar. Initially, fans thought that one was in. And then the Canucks, they get the winner. It is Pettersson that scores. He puts that one around Kochetkov, and yeah, it was a filthy move for the winning goal. I didn't document the third shooter for Carolina, but doesn't really matter. Your score ends up being 4-3 in favor of the Vancouver Canucks. I think it's the first shooter I didn't get documented. Bad hockey guy. But yeah, Pettersson, nice goal, and maybe that just broke me on some level. Because it was a fantastic move on the shootout by Pettersson. Canuck fans have always liked his shootout moves. And so the Canucks win in a shootout 4-3 over the Carolina Hurricanes. They go to 18-22-3 with the win, almost the same record as Montreal. For Carolina, 27-9-8 with the shootout loss. And Kochetkov tried to smash his stick after. I don't know if he actually broke it or not, but he tried. He wasn't happy. Shots in this one, 6 apiece in the first, 13-12 Carolina in the second, 10 apiece in the third, 4-3 Vancouver in the overtime. Both teams had 32 shots overall. Power plays, Vancouver 0 for 1, Carolina 0 for 2. The hits, 31-16 for Vancouver. Delia saves 29 out of 32. Kochetkov also saved 29 out of 32. And that's what happens when your penalty kill doesn't cost you the game. So for Vancouver, we'll see how things go when they come back home. But for now, I need to change boards. Yeah, it turns out I missed. Burns was the first shooter for Carolina, so you could just move Svechnikov down and Teravainen down. And then Pettersson with the winner. All right, now I'll change boards. Okay, now initially I thought, I was going to review those two games and then review this one separately. I'm really glad I opted not to do that. This was not the most exciting game to watch on planet Earth. It really wasn't. There were times, and this was a game. It was a hockey game that happened. Vejmelka versus Hellebuyck. Connor hits the side of the net early. The shots are 3-0 for the Jets at 2 minutes. So Arizona having trouble with giving out shots. It's not really news. Ehlers to Dubois, near miss there. The Coyotes play picked up after a slow start. They were behind in shots like 8-1 early, 6-1 early. It was bad. Pressed by the Jets at 7.5 minutes. Ehlers has a shot that's tipped wide. The Coyotes then press at 9 minutes. Keller fires one wide. The Jets clear it out. There's more Coyotes offensive zone time. Not that they're getting shots. They're being kept to the outside. They're really not getting the shots that would reflect it. Then there's a 4-minute Coyotes power play. The Jets keep them to the outside. That's killed off. 3 shots. So 3 shots on that power play, which was 75% of the shots that Arizona managed in the first period. They didn't get anything after that power play was done. Coyotes did press after it ends, but they didn't get a shot during that. The Jets then press with 2 minutes left. Scheifele has a shot tipped wide in the final minute. With 22.5 seconds left, the Jets get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period, and they score on it. It's Dubois from Morrissey and Ehlers at 37 seconds. Good cycle, and he buries it. Jets press for another. The shots are 2-0 in their favor 4 minutes in. Pionk has a shot that's saved as the Jets are getting easy entries. This is the problem for Arizona at parts of this game. Just way too easy for the Jets to skate into their zone and set up. Coyotes press. The Jets, though, shot block. The shots are only 3-0 at the half. So, yeah, they're getting zone entries. They're not getting a lot of shots, the Jets. Keller would answer at 11:02 from Schmaltz and Chychrun. Wires it from a sharp angle. And this is the thing. It's the first shot Hellebuyck had seen in the second period, and it's a pretty good one. So it's one of those ones where you think, was he cold? Is that why that one goes in? Maybe. It's the only blemish on his record today, though. Pretty good game for Hellebuyck. Coyotes press with 1.5 left. The Jets block and steal. Schmaltz is denied on a rush in the final minute. The Coyotes press to close it out. The Jets, when they're leading after 2 periods, are 19-1. So it's not automatic, but it's close. Third period, Chychrun has a chance that's held as the Coyotes press. Chychrun gets shaken up, doesn't exit. He'd stay in the game. Again, it's worthy of note. Chychrun gets hurt a lot. I really think they're playing with fire. And I don't know how you do it, because we do have a long time before the trade deadline. But if you're the Coyotes management, every time he gets dinged on a shot block or a hit, you have to kind of hold your breath a little bit, right? Hellebuyck Snow Angels with Josh Brown on the doorstep. The shots are 4-0 for the Coyotes at 3.5 minutes. Jets get a power play despite the protests from Bjugstad. I would love to see a guy protest and the referee go, you know what? It's fine. Nah, you little scamp. Just go back to your bench. Nah, I'm not going to give him a penalty. At any rate, during that power play, Dubois hits a post. The next chance he had was saved. Coyotes clear it out. There's a net feed from Connor. That's a near miss there. The Coyotes press at 9 minutes. Jets keep them away from the net. Dubois and Connor are denied in close. Vejmelka holds on to that. Near miss for Nemeth as the Coyotes have a brief press. Schmaltz then hits the side of the net on a rush. Chikrin has a screenshot that saved Coyotes with some momentum in the final 5 minutes. Jets guilty of an icing with 1:54 left, so you pull the goaltender. Keller, though, has a rush chance that goes offside. So the Coyotes call a timeout with 1:35 left. They put the goalie back in. Goalie pull happens again with 55 seconds left. They wanted to get him out sooner, but the Jets weren't allowing it, and they weren't able to generate the necessary offense in order to tie the game. Your final score is 2-1 for Winnipeg. All the scorings in the second period. The Jets go to 29-14-1 with the win. The Coyotes 13-25-5. They have lost 9 straight games. The shots in this one: 12-4 Winnipeg in the first, 9-5 Arizona in the second, 8-7 Arizona in the third. Final shots: 24-21 for the Jets. Power plays: Arizona 0 for 3, Winnipeg 1 for 2. The hits: 16-14 Arizona. Vejmelka saves 22 out of 24. Hellebuck saves 20 out of 21. Low scoring day. We had 3, 10, 13 goals between 3 games. And tomorrow we got 11 games on. I don't think it's going to be that low scoring, because usually on the busier nights, for whatever reason, we seem to get more scoring. I don't have the data to back it up, but it seems like when I'm able to pay attention to these games, there's only a few games on, there's a lot less that seems to happen. And so it's like, well, it's like that whole watch pot never boils, right? Which is not true. A pot will still boil while you're watching it. Go ahead, go turn on the stove, boil some water. It will actually boil. It just feels like it takes longer. At any rate, there you go. You guys are all caught up for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Kind of excited to finally use this one. I got this decal that I turned into a magnet not too long ago. So first time it's shown up in a video. Kind of fun. Anyways, there you go. Thank you guys so much for all your support. As always, I will talk to you again soon.